So for this video, we will be discussing Republic Act 10630, which is the amendment to Republic Act 9344 or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006. So first one is the definition of terms, the Bahay Pag-asa. This refers to a 24-hour child caring institution established, funded, and managed by local government units or LGUs and licensed and or accredited non-government organizations, NGOs, providing short-term residential care for children in conflict with the law who are above 15 but below 18 years of age who are awaiting court disposition of their cases or transfer to other agencies or jurisdiction. So part of the features of a Bahay Pag-asa is an intensive juvenile intervention and support center. This will cater to CICL in accordance with sections 20, 20A, and 20B. A multidisciplinary team composed of a social worker, a psychologist or mental health professional, a medical doctor, an educational or guidance counselor, and a barangay council for the protection of children or yung tinatawag nating BCPC for short, na member nun, shall operate the Bahay Pag-asa. The team will work on the individualized intervention plan with the child and the child's family. Doon kasi sa 9344, walang nababanggit na Bahay Pag-asa. Although merong youth detention center. Pero Bahay Pag-asa wala. Pero eto na. And then, Section 3 naman nitong RA 10630 is the minimum age of criminal responsibility. Okay. So, a child 15 years of age or under at the time of the commission of the offense shall be exempt from criminal liability. Hindi magiging responsible, walang criminal liability ang batang 15 years old or below. However, the child shall be subjected to an intervention program. Yun na nga yung sinasabi natin na hindi naman porket 15 and below ang bata, wala nang gagawin para sa kanya para ma-correct yung mga nagawa niyang pagkakamali. Meron pa rin. Yun yung mag-undergo nga siya ng intervention program. So, kailan nga ba 15 ang 15 years old? A child is deemed to be 15 years of age on the day of the 15th anniversary of his or her birthday. Sa mismong birthday niya, doon siya nag-turn ng 15. Okay. A child above 15 years but below 18 years of age shall likewise be exempt from criminal liability and be subjected to an intervention program. Yun ay kapag nag-act siya without discernment. Ito yung 15 above and 18 below. In other words, 16 at 17 years old. Unless he or she has acted with discernment, in which case, such child shall be subjected to the appropriate proceedings in accordance with this act. Ulit lang, kapag above 15 and below 18 who acted without discernment, the child will not have criminal liability. Tapos, magi-intervention program siya. But if the child is above 15 but below 18 and committed the act or the crime with discernment, then kung ano man yung sinasabi ng batas, then he or she will be subjected to the appropriate proceedings base sa mga batas na ito. And then the exemption from criminal liability herein established does not include exemption from civil liability. Kumbaga, walang criminal liability ang bata, pero merong civil liability pa rin, regardless kung ginawa niya ang act with or without discernment. Okay, and then Section 4, ang ina-amend niya ay ang Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council, the JJWC. So, yung council na yon is created and attached to the DSWD and placed under its administrative supervision. The JJWC shall be chaired by an undersecretary of the DSWD. It shall ensure the effective implementation of this act and coordination among the following agencies: DOJ, Council for the Welfare of Children, DepEd, DILG, PAO, Bucor, PPA, NBI, PNP, BJMP, CHR, TESDA, NYC, and other institutions focused on juvenile justice and intervention programs. Ang representatives sa JJWC ay dapat ang rango nila is not lower than director to be designated by the concerned heads of the following departments or agencies and shall receive emoluments as may be determined by the council in accordance with existing budget and accounting rules and regulations. Ito yung mga yon: DOJ, DSWD, CWC, DepEd, DILG, CHR, NYC, 2 representatives from NGOs designated by the Secretary of DSWD, and then DOH, and 1 representative each from the League of Provinces, League of Cities, League of Municipalities, and League of barangays. There shall be a Regional Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council in each region or yung RJJWC. This will be under the administration and supervision of the JJWC. Ang chair ng Regional JJWC ay ang director ng Regional Office ng DSWD. It shall ensure the effective implementation of this act at the regional and LGU levels and the coordination among its agencies. Then, ang duties and functions ng JJWC is to oversee the implementation of this act, to advise the President on all matters and policies relating to juvenile justice and welfare, to assist the concerned agencies in the review and redrafting of existing policies or regulations or in the formulation of new ones in line with the provisions of this act, to periodically develop a comprehensive 3 to 5 national juvenile intervention program. And then another section here in Republic Act 10630 is children below the age of criminal responsibility, which is an amendment to Section 20 ng 9344. Sabi dito, if it has been determined that the child taken into custody is 15 years old and below, yung mga automatic na walang criminal liability, the authority which will have an initial contact with the child in consultation with the local social welfare and development officer has the duty to immediately release the child to the custody of his or her parents or guardian. Release on recognizance. Kasi nga, ito yung mga tao o ito yung mga bata na wala namang criminal liability. Kaya, ibabalik sila sa mama nila. Or in the absence of parents, yung kanilang nearest relative. The child shall be subjected to a community-based intervention program supervised by the local social welfare and development officer unless the best interest of the child requires the referral of the child to a youth facility or bahay pag-asa. Kung ano ang pinakamainam talaga para sa bata, yun ang ibibigay sa kanila. So ganito, automatically, tatawagin ng magulang sa kanila i-release ang bata. Pero kung sa tingin ng mga social workers, mas mainam na i-commit ang bata sa isang bahay pag-asa, then i-commit siya or ilalagay siya sa bahay pag-asa. Kung, again, yun ang pinakamainam para sa kanya. The local social welfare and development officer shall determine the appropriate programs for the child who has been released in consultation with the child and the person having custody over the child. If the parents or guardians or nearest relatives cannot be located or if they refuse to take custody, the child may be released to a duly registered NGO or religious organization, a barangay official or member of the Barangay Council for the Protection of Children, or a local social welfare and development officer or when and where appropriate yung DSWD. If the child has been found by the local social welfare and development officer to be dependent, abandoned, neglected, or abused by his or her parents, and the best interest of the child that he or she be placed in a youth facility or bahay pag-asa, the child's parents or guardian shall execute a written authorization for the voluntary commitment of the child. So kapag napatunayan nga ng LSWDO na dependent, abandoned, neglected, or abused ang bata, syempre hindi siya ibabalik doon sa magulang niya. Kasi hindi yon ang kanyang best interest. Ang magiging best interest niya ay ang manirahan muna siya sa bahay pag-asa. Kapag ganon ang pangyayari, na patunayan nga ng LSWDO na ganun yung bata, then mag-e-execute ang magulang ng written authorization para sa voluntary commitment ng bata doon sa bahay pag-asa. Provided that if the child has no parents or guardians or if they refuse or fail to execute the written authorization for voluntary commitment, kapag hindi matagpuan ang magulang or ayaw ng magulang ang voluntary commitment ng bata doon sa bahay pag-asa, the proper petition for involuntary commitment shall be immediately filed by the DSWD or the LSWDO. Provided further that the minimum age for children committed to a youth care facility or bahay pag-asa shall be 12 years old. So hanggang 12 years old ang pwedeng ma-commit sa isang bahay pag-asa. Another is Section 20A, serious crimes committed by children who are exempt from criminal responsibility. Again, review lang. Ang mga exempted sa criminal responsibility or criminal liability are those children 15 years and below. So, paano naman kapag sila, yung mga 15 and below, nakakommit ng serious crime? A child who is above 12 years of age up to 15 years of age who commits parricide, murder, infanticide, kidnapping, and serious illegal detention where the victim is killed or raped, robbery with homicide or rape, destructive arson, rape, or carnapping where the driver or occupant is killed or raped, or offenses under RA 9165, yung sa drugs, punishable by more than 12 years of imprisonment, shall be deemed a neglected child under PD 603 and shall be mandatorily placed in a special facility within the youth care facility or Bahay Pag-asa called the Intensive Juvenile Intervention and Support Center. So, ganun ang mangyayari kapag 12 to 15 years old na nakapag-commit ng serious crimes, then ilalagay yung bata sa Bahay Pag-asa. Okay. In accordance with existing laws, rules, procedures, and guidelines, the proper petition for involuntary commitment and placement under IJISC shall be filed by the local social welfare and development officer. So next naman, paano naman kapag paulit-ulit ang bata sa pag-commit ng offenses? So, Section 20-B, repetition of offenses. A child who is above 12 years of age up to 15 years of age and who commits an offense for the second time or oftener, provided that the child was previously subjected to a community-based intervention program, shall be deemed a neglected child. Yun. Mako-consider siyang neglected child under PD 603 and shall undergo an intensive intervention program supervised by the local social welfare and development officer. Okay, again, kaya may ganitong separate na section kasi nga kapag 15 and below, they are exempted from criminal liability. But what will happen kapag paulit-ulit naman silang gumagawa ng krimen? Eto yun. Provided further that if the best interest of the child requires that he or she be placed in a youth care facility or Bahay Pag-asa, the child's parents or guardians shall execute a written authorization for the voluntary commitment of the child. So same process doon sa serious crimes committed by children who are exempt nga from criminal responsibility. Provided finally that if the child has no parents or guardians or if they refuse or fail to execute the written authorization for voluntary commitment, the proper petition for involuntary commitment shall be filed by the DSWD or LSWDO. So, same lang din kapag paulit-ulit ang bata na nagko-commit ng offense. Kapag, again, 12 years old to 15 years old na paulit-ulit gumagawa ng offense, hihingin sa magulang niya ang written authorization for voluntary commitment. Pero kapag ayaw ng magulang isulat yon, yung authorization para sa voluntary commitment ng bata, magfa-file ng petition ang DSWD or LSWDO for involuntary commitment ng bata doon sa Bahay Pag-asa. Now, Section 20-C, exploitation of children for commission of crimes. Dito, sinasabi, any person who, in the commission of a crime, makes use, takes advantage of, or profits from the use of children, including any person who abuses his or her authority over the child, or who, with abuse of confidence, takes advantage of the vulnerabilities of the child and shall include, threaten, or instigate the commission of the crime, shall be imposed the penalty prescribed by law for the crime committed in its maximum period. Section 20D is joint parental responsibility. Sinasabi lang dito na the court may require the parents of a child in conflict with the law to undergo counseling or any other intervention that in the opinion of the court would advance the welfare and best interest of the child. Pwedeng iutos ng korte na magkaroon ng counseling para doon sa mga magulang ng bata kung yun ang pinaka-mainam para sa bata. Yun ang best interest ng bata. Okay, sino ba ang parents na tinutukoy dito sa batas? Biological parents, adoptive parents, individuals who have custody of that child. Sila yung tinutukoy na parents doon sa batas. A court exercising jurisdiction over a child in conflict with the law may require the attendance of one or both of the parents of the child at the place where the proceedings are to be conducted. The parents shall be liable for damages unless they prove to the satisfaction of the court that they were exercising reasonable supervision over the child at the time the child committed the offense and exerted reasonable effort and utmost diligence to prevent or discourage the child from committing another offense. So, basically, i-assess din ng court kung ginawa ba talaga ng magulang lahat ng makakaya niya para maiiwas ang bata doon sa pagkagawa niya ng krimen. Pero generally, the parents would still be liable for the damage their child has caused. And then, Section 20E, assistance to victims of offenses committed by children. The victim of the offense committed by a child and the victim's family shall be provided the appropriate assistance and psychological intervention by the LSWDO and DSWD and other concerned agencies. And then, Section 7, ito yung ina-amend niya ang Section 22 ng 9344, duties during initial investigation. The law enforcement officer shall, in his or her investigation, determine where the case involving the child in conflict with the law should be referred. The taking of the statement of the child shall be conducted in the presence of the following. Kailangan nandun ang counsel of choice ng bata, yung abogadong gusto niya. Kung wala, isang abogado mula sa PAO, Public Attorney's Office. And then, dapat nandun din ang magulang ng bata. Siyempre, automatic na yon. Or ang kanyang guardian or nearest relative. And then, the local social welfare and development officer. In the absence of the child's parents, guardian, or nearest relative, and the local social welfare and development officer, the investigation shall be conducted in the presence of a representative of an NGO, religious group, or member of the BCPC. The social worker shall conduct an initial assessment to determine the appropriate interventions and whether the child acted with discernment using the discernment assessment tools developed by the DSWD. Gagamitin nila yon. The initial assessment shall be without prejudice to the preparation of a more comprehensive case study report. The local social worker shall do either of the following. Proceed in accordance with Section 20 if the child is 15 years or below or above 15 but below 18 who acted without discernment. And paragraph B, if the child is above 15 but below 18 who acted with discernment, proceed to diversion under the following chapter. Okay. So, Section 8 of Republic Act 10630 is the amendment of Section 33 ng 9344, which is the preliminary investigation and filing of information. The prosecutor shall conduct a preliminary investigation in the following instances. When the child in conflict with the law does not qualify for diversion, when the child, his or her parents or guardian does not agree to the diversion as specified in sections 27 and 28. And when considering the assessment and recommendation of the social worker, the prosecutor determines that diversion is not appropriate for the CICL. Upon serving the subpoena and the affidavit of complaint, the prosecutor shall notify the PAO of such service as well as the personal information and place of detention of the CICL. Upon determination of probable cause by the prosecutor, the information against the child shall be filed before the family court within 45 days from the start of the preliminary investigation. Kasi ang family court ang nagtitake charge sa mga cases involving CICL. The information must allege that the child acted with discernment. Kasi yun lang naman ang mga kaso na magpo-proceed sa court. Kapag ang bata ay above 15, below 18, who acted with discernment. And then another amendment ay sinasabi na each province and highly urbanized city, the LGUs, shall be responsible for building, funding, and operating a Bahay Pag-asa within their jurisdiction following the standards that will be set by the DSWD and adopted by the JJWC. Kaya kapag highly urbanized city ang isang lugar, automatic yan. Meron niyang Bahay Pag-asa. For status offenses, meron ding amendment dyan. This is Section 11 of 10630, violations of local ordinances. Ordinances enacted by local governments concerning juvenile status offenses such as but not limited to curfew violations, truancy, parental disobedience, anti-smoking and anti-drinking laws, as well as light offenses and misdemeanors against public order or safety such as but not limited to disorderly conduct, public scandal, harassment, drunkenness, public intoxication, criminal nuisance, vandalism, gambling, mendicancy, littering, public urination, and trespassing shall be for the protection of children. No penalty shall be imposed on children for said violations, and they shall instead be brought to their residence or to any barangay official at the barangay hall to be released to the custody of their parents. So, either ihahatid ka ng barangay official sa bahay ninyo or yung magulang mo papupuntahin dun sa barangay para sunduin ka. Okay. And then, appropriate intervention program shall be provided for in such ordinances. The child shall also be recorded as a child at risk and not as a child in conflict with the law. So, yon. Kapag ang isang bata nakakommit ng status offense or nakapag-violate ng local ordinances, siya ay hindi considered as CICL. Hindi siya child in conflict with the law. Siya ay mako-consider na child at risk pa lang. Okay. The ordinance shall also provide for intervention programs such as counseling, attendance in group activities for children, and for parents attending in parenting education seminars. And then Section 12 is the mandatory registry of children in conflict with the law. All duty bearers, including barangay or BCPC workers, law enforcers, teachers, guidance counselors, social workers, and prosecutors who will receive reports, handle, or refer cases of children in conflict with the law shall ensure a faithful recordation of all pertinent information such as age, residence, gender, crime committed or accused of, and the details of the intervention or diversion as the case may be, under which they will undergo or has undergone of all CICL to guarantee the correct application of the provisions of this Act and other laws. The JJWC shall lead in the establishment of a centralized information management system on CICLs. Ayan. This provision is, however, without prejudice to Section 43 of this Act. So, those are sections that are pertinent in Republic Act 10630, which is the law amending Republic Act 9344 or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act.